クモドドラゴンは史上最強。お前らちゃんと聞け。
Welcome back. It's been a summer of love in the anime community. And by love, I mean kissing main characters to unlock frightening power. Anticipation's high enough, so let's jump right into it and count down some of the best new anime from the summer 2022 roster. At number 10, we have Vermeil in Gold. Magic, mystery, and more than anything else, memories. Our MC is Alto Goldfield, a second-year student at Ortigia Magic Academy. Despite his hard work and excellent scores in all his other subjects, he's at risk of being held back because he's unable to form a contract with the familiar. With no idea what to do, he goes to the library and a grimoire falls on his head. On a whim, he summons the familiar in the faintly printed book. A bodacious demon with a BBL and no regard for personal space pops out and agrees to form a contract with him because his mana is so, potent. His mana is also gold, hence the name Alto Goldfield. Use your brain, people. Of course, since it's anime, she feeds on his mana by kissing him, although there are other ways. Follow the adventures of Alto and his new demon familiar Vermeil as he strives to become the very best mage of all time. This anime does everything possible to stay on the right side of PG-13, but it's definitely not the show you want to get caught watching. Strong flashbacks to the familiar of Zero, for my old heads if you've seen that one. Decent animation, good comedic scenes, great ecchi without nudity. Definitely one you should check out. Number 9, Spriggan. I had to bend the rules for this entry. It's listed as a spring 2022 anime, but it came out on June 30th, so I had to make executive decisions. In this Netflix original, we learned that the human race was more technologically advanced in the past, but brought about its own ruin due to conflict's power dominance. Present day, after recovering an ancient artifact that warns future generations about the perils of ancient technology, Arkham, a powerful secretive agency, identifies gifted individuals across the world to become Spriggan, and they task them with the job of seizing or destroying ancient relics that hold world-destroying power. Yu Omanai is a Japanese Spriggan, an elite agent of Arkham. This action-packed sci-fi anime follows Yu as he sets out on 6 missions with the fate of mankind hanging in the balance. Modified abilities, character designs reminiscent of 90s anime, corrupted baddies, and moral quandaries make this one of the best Netflix offerings of the year, even if it does fall short in certain categories. Number 8, when will a Yumu make his move? We got TikTok dancing, we got cutesy girl, we got serious boy, and of course we got Shogi. What's not to like? Yaotome is an expert Shogi player and captain of the Shogi Club. Tanaka is superb at Kendo, but suddenly decides to quit to become the second member of Yaotome's illegitimate Shogi Club. Why is it illegitimate? We all know from Mob Psycho and Chihaya Furu that you need at least 3 members to be a real club. Come on. But do you watch anime or not? Each has a crush on the other, but what Yaotome doesn't know is that Tanaka, Ayumu, has made a vow to only confess his feelings after he beats her in a game of shogi. Follow the wholesome hijinks as these 2 teens learn both life and shogi lessons every week. Ayumu might be a dark horse for best boy. He's already taking umbrella lessons from the young god Kotaro. If you don't get your shoulder wet, what are you even doing? This is a pure slice of life, so it won't be for everyone, but it is a solid offering from this summer's lineup. Number 7, Engaged Kiss, another saliva-stimulating entry. This is 110% Hilary Banks. It might be a little bit stupid, but damn is it nice to look at. Breathtaking animation, genuinely S-tier fight choreography, and some of the most dynamic cameras you will ever see makes this an enjoyable watch, even when the story looks questionable. We follow Shu, a freelance demon exterminator who's also a little bit of a freeloader. Despite no discernible attractive traits, his ex-girl Ayano, waifu bait number 1, and his new girl/demon, Kisara, waifu bait number 2, both fawn over him. All 3 work in the shadows of Beiran City, a prosperous island metropolis that becomes a global economic juggernaut on the back of a new energy source. No, not vibranium. Shu and his S-tier demon partner, Kisara, work the countermeasure circuit to eliminate the demon threats to the city. At times it's gonna feel very disjointed, especially in the first 2 episodes. Sometimes it feels entirely like a comedic slice of life, at times it feels entirely like a romance, and then at times it feels entirely like an action anime. After episode 3 and beyond, it starts to clean it up. Definitely recommend it. It's not always gonna be seamless or cohesive, but damn is it gonna look pretty. Number 6, Call of the Night. Best soundtrack for 2022 has entered the chat. The OP's a banger, The ED's a banger, everything in between, banger, banger, banger. I'm not entirely convinced by its My Anime List rating, which is currently at 8.1, but its quality is undeniable. We follow Komaru, second-year middle schooler who decides to go out into the night for the first time ever after rejecting a girl from school and developing insomnia. The internet suggests alcohol to induce sleep, so he decides to buy a beer at a vending machine, and that's when the strange girl Nazuna pulls up. Eventually, they go back to her place, and she encourages him to sleep with her on the futon. After pretending to go to sleep, she takes the opportunity to bite him and drink his blood. He awkwardly gets up and asks if he's now going to turn into a vampire, but Nazuna informs him that you only turn into a vampire if you're in love with the vampire that bites you. Komaru tells Nazuna that he hasn't felt this kind of rush that came with the night ever before, and demands that she turn him into a vampire. Watch as Nazuna continues helping him to explore the night while Komaru tries to fall in love with him. I really like the soundtrack in this and the perspectives that they show to make things feel 3D. They also do a really good job of using purples and blues and pinks to make characters pop. This kind of spin on the vampire folklore is sure to become a cult classic and might even be #1 new anime for some people this season. However, for my preferences, it's only gonna come in at a respectable 6. Number 5, Futo P. The windy city of Futo is home to Japan's most hard-boiled detective Shotaro, a cat-crazy handler Akiko, a parallel universe Roman witch Komine, mysterious genius Philip, and at some point, Ant-Man. This one hurts. This one hurts to place. I can't put this show higher on the list only because at the time of recording this, it only has 2 episodes out. But I am very intrigued, and I can tell you that the Kamen Rider fans should be very happy about this massive W. By the end of the season, if this maintains trajectory, not even if it gets better, if this maintains trajectory, it might be the best new anime this season. Side note, the My Anime List rating is completely off. Right now it's a 7.54. This is an 8 out of 10 minimum based on the first 2 episodes. Very quick synopsis. Shotaro and his partner Philip are detectives in Futo City. There's a drug called Gaia Memories that you can inject to get superhuman powers, and people in the underworld have been using it to wreak havoc. I don't want to give anything more away, just trust me. It's a 1000% must watch. I'll be happy to make a follow-up video changing my opinion a month from now. If this thing ends as well as it started, this might be one of my favorite shows ever, bro. Number 4, Parallel World Pharmacy. Who would have thought that one of the best arguments for Medicare for All would come from anime? This one's an isekai, shades of jobless reincarnation as well as world's finest assassin, but I promise you, Pharma will not stand in the shadow of Rudius and Lube. You get it? You get it? Incredible pre-death backstory. We have Kanji, who's a brilliant medical researcher. His entire life trajectory was shaped by the passing of his sister. He thought that her death could have been avoided if she had access to simple and more effective medicine. And so he works and works and works at making new medicines to the point that he literally works himself to death. He reincarnates as Pharma. And to be honest, he's OP on a different scale. Scan illnesses and create with one hand. You can destroy and zoom in with the other. He's a water mage with limitless mana. All that. The new world is classist, so only rich people get effective treatment, which Pharma, who keeps his past memories, is determined to change. Ellen is entertaining, his dad seems like a good guy, all-round enjoyable watch. It really goes to show that even a slight twist on the standard isekai genre can go a long way when executed correctly. Check this one out. Even though it feels pretty familiar, it is a breath of fresh air. Number 3, The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. We got head pats, shiny eyes, music crescendos, and we're playing red light, green light the Yakuza way. Anya definitely has competition from Yaika, Little Lady, the Queen of Pinky Promises. If I ever fall into a coma, please get Kirishima, the MC, to tell my son what happened. Kirishima is a violent and often impulsive member of the Sakuragi family. His hands are really like that. Imagine if Kazutora had a slightly less crazy but just as violent older brother. That's Kirishima. His boss's daughter has to live with him, and Kirishima is put in charge as one of her main babysitters. In this one, we get to watch as Kirishima and Yaika help each other grow. How long before the demon of the Sakuragi family becomes the angel of it? I'm guessing 12 episodes. This is a great slice of life where the comedy definitely hits. As someone who was hesitant to check it out because I was so disappointed by the way of the house husband, I can tell you I was very pleased. Thumbs up. Number 2, Uncle from Another World. Get ready for laughs and all types of shenanigans as Takafumi and everyone's favorite mind-reading, YouTubing, Sega-loving guardian hero, his uncle Shibazaki, deliver a hilarious spin on the isekai genre. One of my biggest pet peeves in isekai is that the characters never come back to the original world and or they never want to go back to it. Exceptions to the rule, Bofuri, etc., whatever. So I was insanely excited to find out that there was a show that answered this question in particular of what happens when an isekai character goes back to their original world. And this show does it in hilarious fashion. Takafumi's uncle fell into a coma at the age of 17 because Truck-kun is undefeated. And then after 17 years of being in a coma and living in the other world, he awakens and retains all of his powers. The two learn how to navigate all of the changes that have happened in the 17 years that he wasn't there, and they try to figure out ways to take advantage of his powers. The comedy in this almost never misses. I've been watching it, wondering if the shtick is gonna get repetitive or if it's gonna get boring, but honestly, it's kind of like a Chiyo School Road or a Prison School, or even like a Sakamoto. It's always funny. They can do the same shit, same premise, it's always funny. Check this one out if you're a fan of isekai or not, it's a W regardless. Before I hop into the number 1, let me hit you with 2 honorable mentions. Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy, the last of the Kiss to Unlock Power anime. You gotta turn your brain off and enjoy this action-adventure fantasy. It's got laugh-out-loud comedy, heavy metal Easter eggs, decent animation. Some fans may have thought that this Netflix remake would tone down the ecchi, while some fans would be wrong. Dark Schneider is a powerful wizard who has been sealed in the body of Lucian. Yoko, who's Lucian's guardian, has the power to break the seal on Dark Schneider by kissing Lucian. Is Dark Schneider still a baddie, or is he now an agent of good? Find out with this hidden gem, and remember, suck the poison. Honorable mention number 2, Black Summoner. It's quite literally exactly what you would expect from a modern isekai. Gamer gets reincarnated, new world has magic, he chooses a rare but highly sought after class, the Summoner class. There's a guild, job postings, level up, join party, slavery, cute elf girl. It's isekai. If this is a genre that you enjoy, you might enjoy this show. As someone who believes that the genre has generally stagnated with a few titles here and there pushing it forward, I don't think this show deserves a spot on the list, but definitely worth checking out if you like isekai. Number 1, Licorice Recoil, the least surprising reveal of all time. No disrespect to any of the other anime on this list, but outside of maybe Futopi, who has the potential, Licorice Recoil is head and shoulders above everything else that came out in terms of new anime this season. The story focuses on Chisato, a free-spirited badass, and Takana, a more rigid, pragmatic, almost robotic agent. Both work for the Direct Attack, which is an agency that specializes in stopping crime before they happen. After a mission goes south, Takana gets reassigned to Likoreko Cafe to work under the tutelage of Chisato. Animation, camera work, small details, interesting and connected concurrent storylines. I'm purposely not giving too much away because I want you to fully experience this. I'll probably devote an entire video just to talk about this anime, but it does live up to the hype. It's not just Gunslinger Girl New Generation that I've seen some silly anime fans try to dub it, but it was easily the number 1 choice for the season. Anyway, that's it from me. Let me hear it in the comments. Do you agree with the list? What new anime did you enjoy from the summer 2022 season? Subscribe for more and stay safe, bitches.